And what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the BSP Podcast. I am your host, Brendan Petrilli here. And what did I tell you? What did I tell you at the beginning of the month? Don't let this Phillies team get hot. And that's exactly what they did. I said if they could get 7 to 6 games back within striking distance, they're a lot closer than you see. Mets. Shout out Mr. Kenny, little Kieran Kenny, my boy Jack. Phillies are closer than they seem. Those Atlanta Braves are a lot closer than they seem too. They're only what are they looking at now? 3.5. Both teams are right there. They're playing very good baseball, and the Mets have been floundering. Won 3 of their last 11, giving these two teams a fighting chance to crawl their way back into a division. But there's also even bigger news in the world of Philadelphia sports, and that is Kevin Durant request out of the Brooklyn Nets. The whole situation. This is another episode of This League, or Keeping Up with the NBA, as Mr. Heapsy and I like to say that in our previous episode. I mean, absolutely crazy. If everybody's out there listening or watching on the YouTube page, make sure you like, subscribe to the video. Check us out on YouTube at BSP Podcast, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. That's where we're going to be. Subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what you think of this Phillies team. Let me know how I was right. Whoever was following, as I hit the table and drop my mic, whoever was following about a month ago, I was telling you, don't let this team get within 7 games. All right, and they'll have a fighting shot. Now, you took a huge hit. An absolutely huge hit and losing Bryce Harper. He looks like he's going to be out till probably September. They said 6 to 8 weeks. The man took 97 off his hand. Fractured finger. What can you do? Like, the guy's out there grinding night in and night out, working his butt off for you, and he's out there with a bad elbow all year, so you finally get an opportunity because of the DH, thankfully, in the National League this year. He was able to be in there and grind for you and be an MVP candidate just as a DH if it wasn't for that elbow injury. And now he's battling through that, and he takes 97 off the hand. Just brutal. It sucks. He's the leader. You could see night in and night out. The first 2 games in this Atlanta series and down in Texas when he wasn't playing, that they need Bryce Harper in that lineup to be successful. And it stinks that that's the way it has to be. But hopefully yesterday is a game that can kind of turn the tides. Nick Castellanos finally gets that home run. His first one in the month of June comes on the last day. That should have been a lock of a bet. Everybody should have threw at least $10 on it, $20, because you knew he was going to get one. He wasn't going to go the whole month. But anyway, Castellanos is warming up. Schwarber had the most electric month of June ever to keep you in this. Rhys Hoskins, hopefully he can kind of get it going. He's been streaky here and there. I think you should trade him, but that's for another conversation. Let me know. And then JT Realmuto, he's been hit or miss. Hopefully he can get going. His defense has been there. And you know what else has been there? And that's the Phillies pitching. Phillies pitching has been awesome. Aaron Nola, a great start. He gave up a couple home runs, but he was fortunate enough he was up 10 plus runs. So it was whatever at that point. But the outings beforehand, it was the offense that wasn't helping him. Giving up 4 runs in his last 5 starts. I mean, the guy has been absolutely electric when he's on the mound. He has that fastball command that we've been looking for. The curveball is getting over, that 2-seamer that cuts back on a lefty, jams a righty. He's painting it. He's got the command. He's there. Zach Wheeler's been struggling his last couple starts, and that could be something to keep an eye out on. But then the bullpen goes out to San Diego, minus Machado for a game or 2, and then you're missing Tatis all year. A little banged up, but still a very good and formidable first place team out there. Second place competing for first out in the West. And you take 3 or 4 because of the bullpen. The Phillies are a team right now that are there. They just got to keep chugging along here. Keep taking 2 or 3. Keep rolling through this month of June. They need Castellanos to finally get going. Him driving that ball to the right center field is what his game is. What he said when he came into the Phillies in his press conference, he said he's still learning how to pull the ball. He's always been the drive the opposite way guy. He's always been that way. Got a little ugly here because another thing he said in that press conference is, I get paid to hit baseballs. I don't have a degree. I get paid to hit baseballs. You haven't been hitting many baseballs this much this year, but hopefully that gets him going. That gets his confidence going. You see him becoming more of a leader now with guys like Moniak, Stott, and this new guy, Bryce Hall. I mean, comes up 2 home runs yesterday. His first 2 major league base hits are home runs. 1 off a position player, which I found funny. John Kruk was saying, thank God he got it out of the way of the at-bat beforehand, because that was your first major league hits against a position player. But that's another big lefty bat that they were missing that everybody keeps talking about. With Bryce Harper out, of course you're going to be missing a left-handed bat. Yeah, you're missing the MVP of the league. But they need these other guys to finally get going, and they're hopefully this game, which is I tweeted out, follow me at Brendan Petrilli on Twitter and at BSP Podcast on Twitter. This team always, they hold it in the runs. You know, one run the first 2 games against the Braves, and then all of a sudden nut for 14 runs. It's like a teenage boy, you know, for the first time. Yikes. Hopefully I don't get demonetized for that, but they just, all of a sudden it's 1 run, shut out, and then all of a sudden they break out for 10 plus runs. It's crazy the way it happens. They need to break it. You'll have one guy, you know, Rhys Hoskins the night before get the home run, but only 3 hits other than that. It's all about the consistency. It's what we've been talking about multiple times, and now more than ever without Bryce Harper in the lineup, they need it. Hopefully Schwarber keeps going in the month of July. Hopefully tomorrow or today, you tell him, hey, June all over again. Let's get after it, brother. You know, but anyway, I hope everybody's enjoying this Phillies season. It's electric down at CBP. You watch the stands, you watch the fans. It's packed every night now, and it's absolutely awesome to see. I hope everybody's enjoying this 4th of July weekend. I wanted to make sure I got an episode out. You know, you can, hopefully you're listening on your way to wherever you're going. Let me know what your 4th of July plans are this weekend, going to the lake, the beach, you know, up to the mountains. I'm going to a lake house out in Maryland with some buddies. It's going to be a lot of fun. Sunday night, I'm going to make sure I'm lighting up some fireworks by a campfire, watching Rocky IV, smoking a cigar, drinking a couple beverages responsibly. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope everybody's out there doing the same. Let me know where you're going. Let's kind of build it here. Have some fun. Share your pictures at me on Twitter. It's going to be a great weekend. This is kind of, you know, the Memorial Day is the start of summer, but 4th of July is when you really feel it. It's, you know, hot. It's 90 plus degrees. Everybody's sweating. It's that official beach, the pool season time. Everybody's having fun with it. I hope everybody's enjoying too. And another thing that's starting to heat up now too, right? That's the NBA off season, man, oh man. You know, first day opened up 6 p.m. last night in the NBA. What do the Sixers do, right? The boy, a lot of people hate on him, but the boy, James Harden, taking less money on his contract to open up salary for guys like PJ Tucker, who signs a 3-year, $32 million deal. 3 years is a lot for a guy that's age 37. But when you got Harden and Embiid, it's their boy. They want that dog, and he's a very solid player for you. You give him that. He's going to turn out to be a Danny Green, what he was last year, right, for you at the end of this contract. He's going to give you 2 really good years. And then that 3rd year, he's going to be a lot of money. He's going to be really old, and they're probably just going to have to eat it. That's not going to look so great. But I'm willing to take those first 2 years because the time is now for the Sixers team, and James Harden knows it. That's why he's taking less money up front. We've yet to see the numbers come out. Supposedly they're sitting down today or tomorrow to finally finalize it, money, what goes where. But Harden's still going to get his money. It's going to be stretched out over 3+ years. He's going to get it. It's going to be more like an NFL contract, right? Like a Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Howie Roseman type of deal, where it's not as much upfront to the cap, and they're just going to figure it out at a later time. That's pretty much what it's looking like, because both sides know Embiid's only got 3 to 5 years left. Harden's got maybe 2, hopefully. PJ Tucker's probably got 1 or 2 years left, and they're just going to go. They're going to make a run for it now. And that's another thing that leads to this, where Kevin Durant, like I said at the beginning of the episode, he opts out of his situation after Kyrie Irving opts in to playing with the Nets for this upcoming season. Kevin Durant hasn't talked to the Nets in 2 weeks, goes to the owners and says, I need out. Get me out of here. These are my teams. The teams supposedly he wants to go to is number 1, Phoenix, number 2, the Heat, and the Sixers are making a full court press. Why wouldn't they at this point? Phoenix seems to be the destination he's going to go to. You're looking at trade possibilities with Malik Bridges, and then DeAndre Ayton and picks. It's a good value for the Nets when you look at it, but that's a lot of money that you're going to be throwing at those guys. When you look at what the Sixers could offer, well, let's go into the Heat, which is a little bit of a funny story here, where in the NBA, you can't have 2 players on a rookie max deal. Now, what does that mean? A rookie max deal is where Bam Adebayo, right? His contract runs up. They give him the rookie max because he was on their team. They drafted him. You can get a 5-year deal worth up to whatever. I think it's like $200 million. And that's what Bam got in the middle of this season. The Brooklyn Nets already have a guy on their roster that has that same rookie max deal. And you want to know who that guy is? Nobody but our boy, Ben Simmons. So that's going to deter any trade with the Miami Heat at this point, because Bam's their biggest piece that they have down there. And they can't have him because of that deal, because they already have Ben Simmons. It's already funny enough that Ben goes there and doesn't even play at all with KD and Kyrie. But now it's going to be Ben Simmons' team after you had that big 3 in Harden, Durant, and Irving. And 3 years later, you're going to be left with Ben Simmons and who knows, bro. And then on the other side of it with the Heat, they're saying like Kyle Lowry, like who cares? They're probably just going to cut him anyway and let him go to free agency if they acquire him. That's just to make the money work with Kevin Durant. But then like Tyler Hero, maybe Duncan Robinson. I don't see them doing that deal at all. And then you go to the Sixers. Now, this is what a lot of people hate, but it has to be done. You have to trade Tyrese Maxey for Kevin Durant if that's what's going to get it done. I hate it. I love Tyrese. Everybody loves Tyrese. The guy's got a smile bigger than the Grand Canyon, bro. Like, he is such a great personality, such a nice young kid. I'm calling him kid. He's like a year younger than me. The guy has stolen the hearts of Philadelphia. The guy's a grinder. He's everything that Ben and Bradley Beal and these other guys aren't. But you have to trade him for Kevin Durant. You have to put Kevin Durant, the best player in basketball, with the second best player in the NBA right now, and Joel Embiid. You have to make that happen. Now, whether the Nets will take that offer of probably Maxey, Tobias Harris, and some picks, who knows? I think it's better than those other options, to be honest with you, because Tyrese Maxey has that superstar capability. Ayton doesn't have that. He's not going to be a top 5 center in this league. He'll be close. He'll be 4 or 5, but he's not breaking past Jokic, Gobert, and Embiid. He's not. Bridges is a good, solid player, but he's a 6-man wing at best, 3 and D. You're going to trade Kevin Durant for that? Tyrese Maxey has the potential to be a superstar, and that's why so many people in Philadelphia don't want to trade him. We've seen the development in the past 2 years. You see the way the guy, after they lose to the Heat, go to Doc Rivers the next morning, say, hey, coach, what do I need to work on? And he goes, dude, take a week off, bro. You need it. Like, relax. You're good. Like, but he isn't willing to take that answer. He wants to get better. And that's what makes it suck to have to probably move on to it if you're going to get Kevin Durant. Now, when you get down to it after that, right? Would Kevin Durant want to come here? Would he want to play in Philadelphia? He owns a part of the Union, the soccer team, Philadelphia Union. He, it's in between. He's got business in New York City. He lives in DC area and down in Maryland, halfway in between both. You can go see mama on the weekdays and you can go up and do your business ventures. Boy, JJ Redick, that's what he did. He would go up to Brooklyn all the time. It's not a far drive. He can make it work. And then him and Joel Embiid have built a mutual respect over the past 2 years where, they're both trolls. They're both trolls on social media and on the court, and they're both dominant. But they've built that respect for each other where KD drafted Embiid number 1 in the All-Star game this past season. He said Joel Embiid should be the MVP. I want Kevin in a dream situation. I want Kevin Durant coming to Philadelphia, sitting down at that press conference and going, I wanted to play with the real MVP of last year. I wanted to play with the real MVP, Joel Embiid. Sorry, my voice. You know how electric and hyped up this fan base would get if he said that? Even if he came here, number 1, I'm getting ahead of myself. Pipe dream. But that'll be a lot of fun. And whether him and Harden will be able to play with each other again. I'm pretty sure all the beef was mostly with Kyrie and Harden. That's why Harden wanted out. But who knows? KD doesn't seem like a guy that really, if he knows he can win, if he knows that this guy can ball, he's willing to put up with it. That's why he went to Brooklyn in the first place with Kyrie. That's why he defended him for most of the year. Because he's like, if this guy can be on the court with me, he can ball. But it just got to be too much. That's why he forced out. And that's why the NBA offseason is absolutely insane. Now, on the other side of it, Sixers got a couple other guys. They brought in Daniel Hudson, another Rockets guy, and some guy who even knows. Decent moves. The PJ Tucker thing, hopefully it's leading to more. It sounds like Tobias Harris might be on the trade block. We'll see where this ends up going this offseason. I'm sure when I come back, probably on Tuesday after the 4th of July, maybe Wednesday, this team might be completely different, and hopefully it is for the better, and we'll be super excited. Make sure you go subscribe for that more content. Maybe I'll do a vlog while I'm down at the lake this past weekend, and maybe a 4th of July vlog too. Be a lot of fun. Shout out if you're in Glenside, make sure you come check out the Glenside Parade. We'll be at I'm right on Easton Road there. My aunt has a house. Walk up, go up the hill by Keswick, the Keswick Tavern. Go up the hill close to like St. Luke's, like you're on the way that way. And we're at the top of the hill there. You'll see me outside if you want to come say what's up. Let's hang out. Have a couple drinks, have some fun, eat some. My aunt gets a big pig. It'll be a lot of fun. Man, we'll see where we're at when it comes to next week with this Sixers team and this Phillies team as you're moving in to a big weekend against the St. Louis Cardinals, because that team is right ahead of you. 3 games, I believe, 2.5 ahead of you in that wild card race. If you can go take 2 or 3, sweep them at your home turf, watch out. It's what I've been saying. Watch out. Shout out to the 215. Go Birds. Dingerdelphia, baby. KD to the Sixers. Why not? Why not us? See ya.